Adventist?
Yes.
Okay.
And as students too, we were those students who worship on Saturday go to the church in the community to worship.
Okay.
So while after worship, he called me to the corner of the church and said, I actually came to this school to pick a wife.
Wow.
And I think you are the person. I looked at him and I smiled. I was in class 3 and I wasn't thinking of marriage. And he said, I am a miracle baby. That was what he told me.
Okay.
My father got me when he was over 50 years.
Wow.
And he wants me to get married. And that's the reason why I want to get married. And it is you I want to get married to. So I told him, well, I'm just hearing him. I will think about it. But after a while, I gave it a thought. He told me he was going to be in the school for just 14 months, precisely 14 months. And he wants to further his education. So on my part, I said, well, I'm still young. Since he's not going to be here, I will accept the proposal. Anyhow it turns out, it's good on my part. If he comes back and says he's ready, I will be ready. If he comes back and says I'm not ready, I'm a young lady, I will still get married. So I told him.
And you were
yes.
not scared? Where did he travel to?
Oh, he traveled to the United States.
And you were not afraid that one of your woman could have chanced you?
I just had that feeling that as a young lady, if he goes there and gets married, because that was possible then, I am still young, I could also get married. Okay. So I wasn't afraid of losing him, because there was actually no relationship that has existed. He told me his story and he said, I want to marry. And I said, okay, fine. I also want to marry you. But the second reason why I gave him yes was because I wasn't of the Adventists. I was of the Seventh-day Church of God, but inside of me, I had wished to marry an Adventist. The reason being this, I came from a polygamous home. The church where I attend, they are allowed to marry as many wives as you can. And my father had 3 wives. And I didn't want to get married to a polygamist.
A polygamist, okay.
So I had that, I was praying God to help me marry an Adventist. But in that community where I was attending school, my church was not there. The only church that worships on the Sabbath happened to be the Seventh-day Adventist church, and all of us were going there. And so he met me in the church. So I thought that could be God answering my prayer. So I just said, okay, if it works out, fine. If it doesn't work out, I'm not losing anything.
Okay. So Dr. Valley, you were just smiling. Smiling. So can you tell us your own part of the story?
Well,
how did you start? How did you know that this woman was the woman for you?
Okay.
The little girl.
Yeah.
You get mine, Sha. Primary 3.
She was
somebody in secondary school, class 3.
Yes, 3 now.
Can you imagine? You had the boldness. That could be likened to
child
child abuse.
I was 23 then.
Okay. Okay.
You see, after my WAEC in Santa Maria High School, I proceeded to Baptist High School for A levels, lower 6 and upper 6, and we wrote A levels. While I was in Baptist, I had admission to Southern the U.S. But the funds have not been put together yet so that we can pay for the tuition. So I had to wait a while, and so at that time I had to go to the school's management board, and they recruited me as a teacher, science teacher, and sent me to Krigeni. There were other options. I could have been sent to government secondary school like Apoka, but I was sent to Krigeni. I said, well, maybe this is what God wants me to do. My father was already saying, before you leave, you have to get a wife for yourself. So when I went to Krigeni, I started from the first day looking out for
a wife.
Not a wife, a good girl.
Okay.
A good girl. A
girl. Okay, somebody you can engage before you travel.
Yes.
Okay.
I needed somebody that would be strong, that would be able to pass exams. And she was one person, and the day she said on a Saturday after church worship, and I proposed to her. And after she thought about it, she came with a yes, which was what I needed anyway.
Okay.
I had some things in mind on the girl to choose. One being that the girl will have to be the mother's last child, because I am my parents' first child, and like she said, I'm a miracle child.
Okay.
My father had me when he was well over 60.
Are you serious?
Yes, so no wonder he wanted me to marry early too. So I had those conditions in my mind. So when she said yes, well, it was a dream come true. Yes.
All right. So after the proposal stage, so what happened next?
I left her. I traveled to the States for school.
And you still came back and married her after that?
Yes.
So didn't you see other girls there, like all those Oyibo girls? You didn't see them?
Well, one of the things, if you are traveling at that age, your parents will not forget to tell you is that, look, don't marry or don't bring Oyibo here. And that was at the back of my mind.
Okay.
All through there.
Wow.
Including my friends, they used to say, this one. All my friends in the U.S. know her name, her native name that I used to call her.
So what was the name?
Nnewo.
Nnewo. Okay.
That's mother of my children.
Oh, you gave her the name?
Yes, her name is Nenna.
Okay.
But I said Nnewo. So.
That's nice. Okay, so when you came back, how did you like take the step? What steps did you take to make sure you did the wedding and all that?
Well, before I came back to Nigeria, my father had actually